And the UN has called on Israel to reverse its decision on expanding its powers in the occupied West Bank,
saying that it threatens the two-state solution. And this comes as Indonesia prepares for a possible deployment of troops to southern Gaza in the coming weeks, while a Palestinian committee visited the Rafah crossing to review operations. According to reports, several thousand Indonesian troops may soon be deployed to southern Gaza in the coming weeks, as I mentioned, shortly after Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto visits Washington for US President Donald Trump's Peace to Prosperity Summit on the 19th of February. According to reports, the soldiers are expected to be stationed in Rafah, where new offices and living quarters are being built. If Indonesian troops are deployed, it would mark the first international stabilization force since the ceasefire. Indonesia's defense minister last November said that they have trained up to 20,000 troops for health and construction tasks.
The Palestinian committee charged with overseeing day-to-day affairs in Gaza visited the Rafah crossing and said passage through the border with Egypt is improving after a chaotic first week of reopening. The Rafah crossing opened last week for the first time since mid-2024, one of the main requirements for the U.S.-backed ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
It was briefly closed last Friday and Saturday amid confusion over procedures. The European Union border mission overseeing the crossing said 284 Palestinians have crossed since the operations resumed. These included returnees, medical evacuees, and their escorts. Palestinian officials say nearly 20,000 people are seeking to leave Gaza for medical care, while hospitals report 5 deaths in the past 24 hours as tensions remain high.
The diligent work of the committee began with its first task of opening the Rafah crossing. Today, we are reviewing the logistical procedures for the movement of Palestinian citizens to and from the Rafah crossing. This work took a long time, after which we began working on an appropriate relief plan and on the entry of necessary humanitarian supplies, especially essential health and educational materials for our people in Palestine.
Now, these developments come as international criticism of Israel's policies in the occupied West Bank intensifies. The United Nations has urged Israel to roll back new measures expanding administrative and security control in territory. The UN warns the steps could undermine prospects for peace and jeopardize hopes for a two-state solution.
This government is a fascist government that want to control all areas of the West Bank, areas A, B, and C, and does not want a Palestinian presence in the West Bank or Gaza. They want to displace the Palestinian people, and they want the land to be without inhabitants.
Meanwhile, Palestinian officials warn Israel's newly approved measures to expand powers in the occupied West Bank amount to a de facto annexation and call for stronger international intervention. Local leaders in Hebron voice fears over steps to undermine the two-state solution.